In my travels here, which haven't been far, haven't been often either, we're definitely taking more time to enjoy ourselves this time around than the last time. Um, the the whole idea of gambling in Vegas, of course, has always been interesting, and where the odds makers have teams right now is interesting. So I picked this up, Westgate. So this is the biggest sports betting area in Vegas. So I thought I'd take a look at their odds. Now this is from a week ago. It's a week ago today, meaning I could probably go back and get a bunch of new sheets, but it's all the way at the other end of the strip, so I'm not doing that right now. I love you guys, but I'm not walking all the way to the other end of the strip right now, Christmas Eve or not, 16 degrees outside, beautiful or not. Uh, so where do the odds have everybody right now? This is kind of fun. So last year, of course, there were a lot of very nervous gambling people in Vegas. People who run the whole thing were nervous because Vegas had been like this insanely long shot to win a Stanley Cup, and they got close. And if they had won, it would have bankrupted people. And so this year, they seem to have taken a very cautious approach just with Vegas. You guys will see what I mean. Opening odds were on May 22nd of 2018. So before the Stanley Cup's even awarded, they're already like, okay, who's going to win this next year? And Tampa was the number one team there with 8-1 odds, followed by Vegas, Nashville, Pittsburgh, Winnipeg, Boston, and Toronto, all at 10-1. Washington at 14-1. Now, fast forward to now, your number one on the odds is still Tampa. They're at 6-1 now. But Vegas, Nashville, Winnipeg, and Toronto are at 8-1. So what I see in this is not necessarily that Vegas has done as well as those teams. It's we don't want to lose money. We're a little nervous because of the amount of money we could have lost last year. So we're going to go ahead and hedge where it comes to Vegas. Pittsburgh's at 12-1. Boston's at 12-1. The Capitals are at 10-1. You know, at 12-1, it's almost worth taking a shot at Pittsburgh. The fact they get the same odds as Boston, I find that odd because they did win the Cup in 2016, 2017. And it's funny because I would bet on a team that I don't necessarily cheer for to win the Cup if I thought they had a good shot at it. So, yeah, taking a bet on Pittsburgh at 12-1, it's tempting. Very, very tempting. Looking down the list, Columbus and Edmonton are at 25-1. San Jose's at 14-1. Calgary now is at 12-1. So Calgary's given the same odds to win the Stanley Cup as Pittsburgh. Philly has dropped from 20-1 in May to 100-1 now. Florida's gone through a similar drop. They're down to 100-1. The Kings are at 300-1. Chicago and St. Louis. Chicago's at 500-1. St. Louis at 300-1. New Jersey 100. Colorado's gone from 40-1 in May to 20-1 now. The Minnesota Wild have stayed relatively consistent. They went from 30-1 to 25-1. Buffalo from 80-1 to 20-1. So if you'd bet on Buffalo back in May, it's $80 return for every dollar spent. It's not bad. Eastern Conference odds. Tampa has a 3-1 chance there. Pittsburgh and Boston 6-1. Toronto 4-1. Washington 5-1. Columbus 12-1. The longest odds there are Ottawa and Detroit at 150-1. 2019 Western Conference. Vegas, Nashville, and Winnipeg all at 4-1. Vegas opened at 4-1 as well. Nashville and Winnipeg opened at 5-1. So it's very interesting in that when you look at the way the odds are structured, it is we can't lose all of our money again on the Golden Knights. We can't. Odds to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. There were only 3 sheets there. The interesting thing is this whole wall of papers for you to take for your betting needs. And if it's football you're looking at, it is a wall of football, and then off to the left, kind of buried to the left, are 3 sheets of paper for hockey. So in the betting world, hockey is still not quite what football is. And I saw that when we were there. The college football game, that was the one that was on the big screen, and they had all the sound for that. The NHL games were off to the left, and they were on a smaller screens, and obviously there was no audio because the audio was the football game. So hockey still has a way to go, ways to go down here. Odds to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. Line A has the best odds at 4-1. Ovechkin 5-1. McDavid 7-1. Matthews went from 7-1 to 25-1. Sagan was at 15-1 on September 12th. So the opening for this was on September 12th. And Sagan's gone from 15-1 to 150-1. I could have told him that Sagan wasn't going to win the Rocket Richard. Crosby, he's gone from 20-1 to 100-1. Let's find some interesting ones here. McKinnon's gone from 30-1 to 15-1. McKinnon might be an interesting one to take. He's not that far off. Tavares has gone from 20-1 to 15-1. Scheifele's at 40-1, so he's dropped. Patrick Kane is still at 40-1. Pasternak's gone from 50-1 odds. Now he's at 9-2. So, pretty strong chance for him. At 50-1. I think the best time to bet is before the season starts. I really do. Because they had Draisaitl and Brock had the same odds as Van Riemsdyk, Johnny Gaudreau, Panarin, Pavelski, Shen, Rantanen, Kopitar, Forsberg. So if you're, if you're coming here to gamble and you go, you know what, Rantanen's up for a great season, and you bet mid-September, you could come out with some pretty decent chance to win there. Braden Point's gone from 80-1 in September. Now he's 10-1. Jeff Skinner was 300-1 in September. 300-1. Now he's 8-1. So for people who say, "Oh, Shannon, you didn't have any faith in him," neither did these guys. They had Pettersson at 100-1 and Skinner at 300. He had the same odds as Nyquist. Erik Karlsson at 500-1. Yeah, Erik Karlsson's never going to win a Rocket Richard trophy. That's just pure insanity. Landeskog's gone from 8-1 odds to 25-1. And then the last page, promise you this is the last page. And again, it's just interesting to look at where we end up. These are odds as of December 10th. And the interesting thing is, teams must play for 82 regular season games. So if you ended up with a lockout, I guess, this year, then this doesn't matter. Wages will be paid following the end of the regular season. And it also says on the Stanley Cup one that if the Stanley Cup isn't played that year, then there will be a refund for all wagers. It's sad that that's a thing that's happened in my lifetime. And it wasn't a result of the flu, like back in 1917. So division winners. Tampa Bay right now has 5-8 odds, so really, really good odds. Tampa's 7-5. Boston 8-1. Basically, Tampa, you're not going to make any money betting on them, so there's not much point betting on them winning the division. Florida's 500-1. Buffalo's 40-1. Detroit and Ottawa are also at 500-1, and Montreal's at 100-1 odds. Central Division, both Nashville and Winnipeg are 3-2, and Colorado's 3-1. Minnesota and Dallas 15-1. And then Chicago and St. Louis are way down there. St. Louis 300-1 odds to win the division. Chicago's at 500. St. Louis at 300. Metro 7-5 are the odds that Washington wins it. 2-1 for both Pittsburgh and Columbus. 30-1 odds for the Islanders. 40-1 for Carolina and the Rangers, and then 80-1 for Philly and New Jersey. Pacific Division, again, this shows where they're hedging. This shows where if you're putting together any kind of a line here in Vegas on who's going to win something, make sure you cheat in favor of Vegas winning rather than saying, oh, well, they're not going to have a great season to follow up last season. The Knights are at 3-2 odds of winning the division, which is barely behind San Jose's 9-5 and Calgary's 9-4. So that's interesting. The Oilers are at 15-1. Anaheim's at 20-1. The Kings are at 500-1 odds. Arizona's at 100-1, and Vancouver 300-1. So it's very, very interesting, and it's something that I can look around to this weekend if I see another set of papers where all the odds look completely different. I'd be glad to pass that along. It's just it's fun, and while we're here, it's impossible not to notice it. So there you go, just a little look at where the odds are right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.